Namaste. Welcome to another Friday session. I hope your new year started with happiness and freshness. Well, the previous year had its set of challenges, and we all should be proud of ourselves that we all overcame that. I hope this year brings in new hopes and aspirations for all of you. Well, today I'm going to tell you another of my unpublished story. Hope you like it. If you do, then please give a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, do let me know in the YouTube's comment section. Share the story with your friends and family. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for weekly updates. I had recently taken up hiking. I was so fascinated with it that I had even joined a local hiking enthusiast group in my local community. Every Sunday, we all made plans, met at a common place, and trekked to the pre-decided trails and destinations. It was not only a good form of exercise, but also helped in networking, which added value to my current job profile as an investment banker. It had all started last summer when I had gone up to the hills in the north of India for a family vacation. I was introduced to hiking by a fellow tourist and got hooked onto it. Even this year, I was planning to go to the same place, but this time it was different. My family was not coming with me. I had promised them that after I returned from my hiking excursion, I would take them for a vacation to a place of their choice. I did my tickets and was eagerly waiting for the day to arrive. I had already started daydreaming of the winding trails through the rolling, woody, hilly terrain, passing through the rivers and marshes. The beautiful scenery and the calm atmosphere brought about a sense of serenity. The clean, fresh air, the smell of fresh, moist earth mixed with woody essence of trees and fallen leaves. It was the beginning of July when I reached Sankhli in the Garhwal Himalayas in north of India. This place was the gateway to Har Ki Doon Trek Valley, and I was very excited. I checked into my hotel and went to sleep with a sense of excitement and enthusiasm in my mind. I even dreamed of this bliss I was to encounter the next day. The next morning, after a good sumptuous breakfast, I checked my camping gear that consisted of a sleeping bag, some kitchen utensils, and other nicks and knacks. As I started my ascent, it felt like I was taking a stairway to heaven. As I was walking through some of the most charismatic alpine meadows and pine forests, the trails looked so mesmerizing whenever the sun tried to peep in behind the clouds. I was very happy. I was very content. On my way, I met a few fellow trekkers. Most of them were part of a group and we all started talking. Suddenly it started to rain. Proceeding through the green foliage, dripping with pearls of rain, was a beautiful experience. We all stopped for lunch and a little rest. After a little nap of sorts, I parted ways with the group with a promise to meet again. I ventured towards Pauni Garad. The plan was simple: to reach Kalkatia Dhar by the end of the day. I was taking an off route and thoroughly enjoying it. Kalkatia Dhar was situated at around 3,000 meters above sea level, and it was getting chillier by the second. The sun had come down by this time, and I decided that I will pitch a tent somewhere in the forest and call it a night. I could envision myself sitting beside a warm fire and staring at the clear, pristine night sky. Because of the thick forest, very little sunlight or whatever was left of it was reaching the forest floor, and in most places it was playing hide and seek, and the whole atmosphere was reminding me of many spooky movies I had seen on Netflix. But it was fun. Slowly feeling my way through, I was proceeding forward steadily. Suddenly, out of the blue, I tripped on something and fell in a ditch of some sort. I fell on my left side, and I think to avoid my fall, I had taken the support of my left hand, which I realized was a big mistake. I got pinned to the floor of the hole or something, and something pierced my left arm and stomach. The pain was too intense. I could sense that blood was oozing out of the wounds. I tried to free myself, but the heavy bag on my shoulder prevented me from doing so. With my right hand, I tried to feel the perpetrators of my agony. Both of it, the one loosely lodged in my left arm and the one tightly penetrating my stomach, was good 2 or 3 inches thick. They were moist with recent rain and I guess with my blood. With a lot of difficulty, I could manage to take out the small torch from the right side pocket of my backpack. After putting the torch on, I could assess the situation I was in. I was lying on a bed of wooden stakes. Luckily or unluckily, they had just penetrated on 2 places on my body. For all I can say, they could have pierced me anywhere or I could have also died. Maybe there is God after all. I think one of the stakes got entangled with my backpack. That is why it was difficult to move it. I carefully removed my right arm from the backpack and slowly supported my right foot on the stake. Then, with a jerk, I dislodged my left arm. The excruciating pain was so intense that I must have passed out for some time. By the time I woke up from this agonizing slumber, it was night and pitch dark. My torch had slipped away from my hands and fallen down. It was emanating a very dull light. I guess the cells in it were slowly dying out. I tried to reach it with my fingers, and after some unsuccessful attempts, was able to grab it. I must have lost a lot of blood from my arm and stomach, which was still comfortably pinned down with the stake. I tried to move, but it was nearly impossible. The pain was very intense. It was making me sweat profusely in this cold weather. As my left arm was free, I was able to slide off the backpack completely. With the dim light of the torch, I could see the surroundings. It was a deep ditch, a hole of some sorts. There were similar wooden stakes all over the place. It was a hunter's trapping pit, and now I was trapped in it. The pit itself would have been covered with branches and leaves, but now they lay sprawled all over the place and on me. I was exhausted. I cried for help, but my voice failed me. My throat was parched with thirst. I searched for my water bottle in the backpack. It was nearly empty. It must have cracked open when I fell down. Now, most of the water had escaped from it. It was less than a gulp, which I emptied in a half a sip. I took out the scarf and tried to tie a tourniquet around my arm to stop the blood. With one end in my right hand and the other between my teeth, after several futile attempts, I was successful. But the bigger problem lay in front of me. The stake so comfortably lodged in my stomach, I guess it had not ruptured my spleen or any other vital organ, but removing it was still a priority. I opened my jacket zipper and tried to peek in. My white t-shirt had turned red, and it was a very deep gash. I slowly and painfully tried to ease my fingers around the wound. As I inserted my finger in, the intense pain made me cry out loud. I guess my voice disturbed some of the birds from nearby trees, and I could hear several wings fluttering around. I tried to relax for a while, but before I could gauge the situation, started drizzling. I closed the zipper of the jacket and covered my head with its hood. It was impossible not to get wet because of the way I was pinned to the stake. The ditch started filling up with rainwater. The only silver lining was that I was no longer thirsty. I again tried to wiggle free from the stake, ignoring the pain and agony it was causing me. I cried out loud. I was desperate. I was trapped. The ditch was filling fast. The water had reached up to my body level, even though I was nearly half a foot above ground level. My condition started deteriorating. My situation was worsening with every passing second. The water was so cold that it was making my body numb. I was drenched. I was drowning. I was getting depressed. I knew that this was the end. But I didn't want to end it like this. I had a family waiting for me. I tried one last time. I stretched both my feet against the wooden stake in front of me. With my both hands on the ground, I yanked myself off the stake. The excruciating pain made me pass out again. I don't know how much time had passed, but when I opened my eyes, I was home. My wife was sitting next to me and stroking my hair. My children were in front of me watching television. Maybe it just had been a bad dream. My wife gave me water to drink. As soon as I took a sip, I started gasping and choking. Before I could recover, I opened my eyes. I was back in the ditch. I was drowning. With much difficulty, I tried standing up, but the ground was so slippery and I fell on the stakes. I don't know if I was lucky or not. I tried stopping my fall with my palms, and two stakes went right through both of my palms. So I was not lucky in that sense. But as I said, lucky. That instantaneous decision helped me avoiding any other serious injury. Just imagining that gives me shudders. Anyways, whatever it was painful to the core. The left palm, the tip of the stake had just pierced through enough to allow blood to flow freely. But the right palm, it had pierced right through, and I could see some fragments of bones peeping out. I knew that if I tried to free my right palm, not only the pain would be severe, it would be very difficult to stop the blood. Tears of pain and anguish were flowing like high tides from my eyes. With a little difficulty, I managed to free my left palm. It had started swelling up and was becoming difficult to close the fist by every passing second. I had no other choice. It was now or never. I held my wrist, and with whatever energy was left on me, I yanked myself free. The pain was so intense that I could not help myself cry out loud. I just propped myself against the dish wall to catch a breath and allow the pain to subside a little. I searched in my bag for something to use as a bandage. As I was doing that, I heard some sort of sound, as if someone or something was breathing heavily, something like a snort and a huff. I got startled and looked up. The rain and darkness were making it difficult for me to understand what it was. Again, the same snort and stuff. It was very close. I was scared. I could see a pair of shining eyes peering towards me. They looked menacingly beautiful. A starry night and a pair of shining, twinkling eyes looking down on me. I could feel the odor emanating from its mouth and nostrils. The slight musky odor mixed with strong stink of rotting meat was making me pukish. I was transfixed at the place and afraid to even make any movement. Suddenly, its big face was upon me, sniffing me all over, slightly spraying the reverse sneeze all over my face. I was so scared that I closed my eyes, as if by closing my eyes it will go away. Before I could think further, it struck me with its forepaw. Its claws cut across my left cheek, and the impact threw me off my crouching position towards the other end of the ditch. I yelped in anguish, which I guess must have further agitated him. He jumped in the dish after me, but fell on the protruding stakes. The animal howled with all its might and charged towards me, picking me up, biting, lacerating my flesh at many places. It was just about to strike the fatal blow. Then, just out of the blue, I heard a loud sound, like a gunshot. The animal fell over me with a thud. Its weight pinned me to the ground, and I, out of sheer exhaustion and being severely wounded, passed out. When I woke up, I was sitting in my favorite cafe, sipping my favorite cold coffee with vanilla ice cream. It was a sunny day, not the hot summer kind, but the one in which sun had just come after torrential rains. I was strangely at peace. The cafe was empty except for the lone person busy with his head bowed at the cash counter. Even the street outside was empty. The ceiling fan was making a strange grunting and rattling sound. It was all very strange. I got up from my place and went over to the cash counter. Where's everybody? The person just grabbed my left hand and started pulling me towards him with all his might. Before I could understand anything, his face started changing into a strange animal. I tried using my other hand to free myself. The person, or whatever he was, got hold of both of my hands and forcibly started pulling me towards him. Before I could say anything, my eyes opened. There were many people around me trying to help me out. There were lights all around, and I could hear people shouting and yelling. Someone was holding my head and forcing me to drink something, some sort of liquid. It tasted very sweet. Others were trying to remove the dead animal, which I later came to know was an Asian black bear, was propped on a stretcher and pulled out of the ditch. Next time I opened my eyes, I was in a hospital. All sorts of tubes were running in and out of my body, and both my arms and legs were in a cast. My wife was sitting on the sofa next to the window and reading some magazine. I whispered her name. She came to me and held my hand. I was sweating. She wiped the sweat from my forehead and said that she will go and call the doctor. I held her hand more firmly and said, "No, don't go." Hope you all liked the story. If you did, then please give a thumbs up. If you have any comments, do let me know in the YouTube's comment section. Share the story with your friends and family. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for weekly updates. Till next week, be healthy, be happy, be safe. Jai Hind.